fact, more than half of the people here in this room live in America. But wheelbarrow is something that gardeners do. That thing that has two sticks that stick out and one wheel in the front, and you put your tools and your whatever it is, your gardening equipment inside that little bin and you move it forward. So that's a wheelbarrow, English term. So this is wheelbarrow time. In other words, things that will help you when you go to your bhakti garden tomorrow morning, or those of you who still have some of your 64 rounds to chant tonight, and things that you can access, thoughts or inspirations or tools or skill or something. So that's what we'll try to help you reflect, and you can put something in your wheelbarrow for tomorrow morning. So we'll start with Radha Krishna. So do you want to start with something?
He's already salivating.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
20 minutes. Or so.
Hare Krishna. I did write down a few things. So I could share with all of you. Hopefully it will help in some ways. What I understood over the years in the matter of chanting holy names, that the spiritual life is actually a personal discovery. It's a path. So therefore, it's not enough just to come for retreats and read books. It has to be a personal, internal discovery. We gather experiences and ideas and what helped from each of us, and then apply it in our practice. Some of the things that has helped me is that when I sit down and chant, prior to that I tell myself that the holy name is Krishna. And when I chant, I am actually chanting to Krishna, and Krishna is with me. But sometimes I invite, like I was explaining yesterday, that I'm chanting with my spiritual master, or with Srila Prabhupada. Like that. And that has a great impact. Because personally, I was also invited by my own spiritual master when he was chanting. So he would tell me to sit next to me, and he would just chant, and then he would tell me to chant. And we would go on for an hour like that. So it was intense. But we were forced to concentrate. I remember one time in 1994, during the Mayapur festival, my Guru Maharaj was chanting in his room. He would chant on his own during those GDC meetings and so on. His Holiness Nidaluna Swami came to chant with him. So then he went into the room and they closed the doors. About an hour later, Nidaluna Swami comes out and then he goes, "That was intense." He walks away. And so the chanting is not something you, as many of you have experienced, we rush into. It is not as one or two of you pointed out, it's not a game that we reach a number. Actually, for me nowadays, it's not, it's not, the goal is not the number. It's actually easy to chant fast or slow. It is, it's actually easy. But the goal wasn't the number. What I would pray sincerely is that I want to experience what the acharyas are speaking about, what this bliss is all about. Yes, as Maharaj said, the number is important because we took a vow and we promised that. So that is in itself is a surrender. The surrendering process is not just that, it continues further than just meeting a number. So if we are not careful, sometimes we say, yes, I have chanted 64 rounds, and then the desire for name and fame rears its ugly head. and it's real. But rather, it's not the numbers again. It's more so that when Prabhupada says you should chant like a child crying for their mother, or like a beggar begging for alms. The mood is different. We are not here to conquer Krishna by our chanting. We are trying to submit Krishna to our will. It appears like that when we are not focused in the intent. The intent is that I am your servant, Krishna. Please reveal that to me. I don't understand that position. But that mood can only be developed, at least in my experience, is through service. Service to devotees, particularly service to Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master. That intention and the deep conviction to please the spiritual master gives us the ability to actually chant in the humble mood. Then I remember distinctly in 1994, this was in Vrindavan, my spiritual master heavily chastised me. It was so heavy. And then he told me, go away, get lost. I don't want to see you again. And so I just, he said, I want to see you here, get up. So I had to just get up. So I went to the temple, and then I had nothing to do, so I had to chant. When you feel that you have lost everything and there's nobody else, that actually is the mercy of my spiritual master. Then I had to look at Krishna Balaram, Radha Krishna Prabhu, and I just sat chanting the whole day. Practically the whole day I was just chanting. And at that moment I felt what this chanting was. It was pleasurable. At the same time, it was because my spiritual master chastised me and I couldn't be with him. I felt really separated. But later on, he called me back. The point is, it wasn't the numbers again. It wasn't that. It was the deep desire to please the spiritual master. Actually, first and foremost, Srila Prabhupada's mission is so important like that. So to chant, another thing that has helped me is that when we are chanting, the meaning of the mantra is, oh dear Radha, oh dear Krishna, please engage me in your service. And then we don't really want to be engaged in service. That attitude itself defeats the purpose behind chanting itself. And therefore, the reason for being humble doesn't take place. Therefore, where's the humility? So then we have to learn to depend on Krishna. Not just Krishna, his devotees also. Sometimes devotees can also show the wrath of Krishna. You may think that they are being harsh on us, but Maharaj was explaining the prayers of Lord Brahma, how we have to try and see, sometimes Krishna speaks to different devotees. Ultimately, what is the purpose of Krishna? To take us back to God, to play with Him, to dance with Him. So when we think like that, and we understand that's the purpose behind all that's happening for us, it becomes easier to chant. And when the mind wanders, then we have to learn to dismiss it, bring it back. And again, bringing the mind back, it's not simply like you can do it because, for millions of lifetimes we have allowed our minds to do what we want. So the fastest way is to serve some devotee. And it will help. And when you are chanting, you learn to be in the present. That you are here, you are chanting. And nothing else should interfere with that chanting process. And of course, one should consider, Maharaj gave an example this morning or last night, he said don't eat and so on too much. So these are some things you can consider, lifestyle changes. Each and every one of you have a particular habit or habits that are going to make it very difficult for you to actually chant for Krishna, chant with Krishna, like that. Some of you may be driving to work and then you may be in the habit of listening to maybe pop music or to some silly radio station or some political news or something. Maybe it's better if you pop in, instead of the pop music, pop in the CD of Srila Prabhupada, popping away, like that, or rapping away in his own style. And it makes a lot of difference. Or you can listen to some classes. I remember when I first was going to the temple, I was driving to work, and so it would take about 35-40 minutes. So I listened to in those days it wasn't so easy to get tapes. Nowadays you can read, you download MP3s and so on. In those days you could, you have a tape deck, and even not all cars had tape decks. And so anyway, I had one tape of my spiritual master's lecture. So I would listen to that lecture, and practically for a whole year you listen to the same lecture. Pretty much everything that he's going to say next, and then it sticks in your mind, and so even when you're chanting, you remember certain things. So your focus becomes more genuine, and this is what my spiritual master wants me to do. I should do this. And in your life, you make adjustments. And you see someone eating in a certain way, you remember the comments the spiritual master made. You shouldn't be eating this way, you shouldn't be talking this way. So all those help us to hone in our skills in the manner or the matter of chanting the holy name. So I have a simple goal when you're chanting also for the mind, that I'm going to chant so you don't bother me just because I just want to chant now. We can think about other things after the chant. Like that. Like Maharaj was saying, before you go to bed, you can train your mind. And in fact, as Prabhupada said, if you read Krishna book, you will dream of Krishna. So in the same way, if you tell your mind, or just like and it works for me. I tell myself I'll get up at a certain time, and I can get up at a certain time because the mind gets adjusted, or it gets up earlier than the time you want. So those small things, but I believe it helps. So once again, it wasn't the number for me. It was always, can Krishna that he will accept my prayers. I'm still waiting for that.